Alright, let's see if this is on. We are going. So excuse me while I mount you onto my head. Anyway, this is the Avanti that, well, it was my dad's. He bought it in '69. I don't know if you guys can hear me. I don't know where the microphone is on these things, but anyway, this is the 25th Avanti built. It was built July 5th of '62. Came out of South Bend, Indiana. And what you're seeing is it's a result of me driving on a back road in October of '97, and drove the line. I had a right-hand turn. Entered fine, through it fine. Exit was not so good. The exit, I put the two left side tires off on the dirt. That wasn't a problem. Slowly came out of the throttle. That wasn't an issue. As I came back onto the roadway, either the two left side tires clipped a rise in the asphalt, or something underneath the car actually stopped one side, and I'll show you in a second. Right down here, there's a huge bend in the actual frame member. Sway bar link on the left side is broken, so this could have been out of the way. And there's a huge bend right there. You hit something on the ground pretty good. I think that's actually what whipped around the car. Back end came around to driver's right, and I wound up backwards on the left side of the roadway, intertwined with some barbed wire fence. So Avantis were fiberglass, or all of them were, most up until the 80s anyway. And yeah, the back didn't fare too bad. The back, I'll get down here, show you when the car came around, the back became the leading edge, and the bottom was traveling through some rocky debris, and so like the plate here, there's a dent in the frame. The exhaust, hang on a second, I'll get a better look at this side. The exhaust tips are mangled, but mostly that's about it for the back. This vertical bumperlet is pushed off to the left side a bit. It's supposed to be more vertical. The rear bumper's good. Maybe down here, but for the most part, the back side's all right. Light scratches from barbed wire in the tempered glass. So it's lucky that it didn't do any deeper punching. Otherwise, the whole thing would have spiderwebbed and it would have been toast. But so it's like light scratches up here, down here. The right side of it's pretty good. It's dusty. I mean, it's been sitting for a while. But anyway, I'll show the front of the car. This is a later deal. This is during moving the car from California to Maine. But I mean, it's fiberglass, so I'm gonna learn how to do fiberglass. This car came out of the factory as an R2 with an automatic transmission. The Granatellis are the guys, Vince and Andy and their crew, turned this engine, the factory R2, into a prototype R3. So it's supposed to be the next higher up. It still has some R2 parts on it that have been modified. The R3 cars from the factory got dedicated R3 parts. They were built with that in mind. Since this was a prototype, they didn't have that luxury. This was the car that was setting the precedent basically for those pieces. So this is an interior of an Avanti. The windshield crack, that happened in like '96, maybe earlier '97. It was actually the whole reason why I was taking the back road, because the local sheriffs and local municipalities would kind of like hassle me over the intercom. They're like, "Hey, you got to get that windshield fixed." You know, well, this is a Studebaker, and even in '97, Studebaker still wasn't around, so getting a hold of a windshield was kind of a pain in the butt. Not easily done. So I started taking routes that the officers wouldn't take, and well, then look what happens, right? Originally, this interior was turquoise. Pretty much everything that you see is black was turquoise. The what they call fawn, this tan beige, was still tan and beige. So like the door panel over there, the seats, it would have been turquoise. The carpeting, it's black now. It would have been, I hear it was a black turquoise hook and loop kind of alternate. So it's like you'd see some black and some turquoise intertwined. Be interesting to see if I can find some of that. Go back to original on the interior. Good solid thud. Studebaker was rather proud of their door latch mechanism. It's kind of different at the time. But in fact, in here you'll see some turquoise paint. This is all scraped from whatever. The supercharged bent badge from the fender. This was so it was a 289 that was supercharged. The Granatellis allegedly punched it up to 299 because 299 was the class limits for their C class at Bonneville. But we don't show. We haven't extensively looked, but we don't show it as being a 299. It's still got the stock 289 bore, so if it is a 299, they stroked it. Here's the pressure box. Originally, it ran without it. These weren't made at that time. You'll see something else rather interesting. It takes 5 quarts of oil. You can stick 5 quarts in all at one time. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 straight to the pan. It is a 289 original car. People like to say, "Oh, it's a Ford engine." Well, distributors in the back, like what GM did. So it's definitely a Studebaker 289. Here's some more damage in the front. What's odd is I went off driver's left. So here's driver's left. This side doesn't look so bad. Yeah, I mean, fiberglass, this popped, which will actually give us a better reference for the other side. But mostly, all the pieces are here. This is a crack. Oh, as you can see, yeah, right? It comes down here. But all the pieces are, the functional pieces are there. Here's where the bumper mounts in. Here's the actual frame part of the bumper. This will be an interesting trick, trying to get these pieces to line up. On other cars, on an undamaged car, that's what's called the shark's mouth. And it spans under here. Well, it popped off, as you can see. I did pick it up. I picked up a lot of the wreckage when I got out of the car and, kind of shook my marbles around. Here's that same dent from below. Might need to heat treat it and bend it. We're going to try and keep this piece, though. Like I said, the sway bar mount broke. Used to connect that there. But yeah, so this is fiberglass. A lot of pieces in the car. They say they're about 1/10 of an inch thick, and then they're all kind of melted together and slapped together with resin. The hood's good. We took the hood out. It's off. This is a cowl opening car, so it opens this way, comes up. Hinges are good. Other side. We've taken down some of the stuff already. The Paxton blower sat right here. Pulls. Here's the inlet for the inlet hose coming in, and then outlet hose hooks up to here. And there is a Carter AFB carburetor right in there. It's got manifolds, original Studebaker manifolds, and everything that this car did, all the runs, all the records, were with stock manifolds and then exhaust. It's got dual exhaust, but you can't help but wonder what it would do if the middle two pistons could have an exhaust header. Oh, this is an interesting thing. Firing order. I don't know if you can see it on there. 18436572. Also, GM did that same order. Studebaker same. Odds, evens. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And these cars have an interesting battery. It's out right now. It's called a 3EE. It's narrow, quite long. It sits all the way back to here. It's also, we pulled it out just so we wouldn't short anything. Radiator frame. The radiator slopes forward. Now a sloped radiator or slanted radiator, you'll see in like Corvettes for that, for example, you get more surface area. You lower the center of gravity because the top is not as high up as it would be. This car has a trans cooler. As a lot of the R3s did, I'm sure. But yeah, a lot of scratches you'll find. This took it almost down to the fiberglass, it looks like. Primer. And then the color is a gray from a 70s Chrysler product. Mostly that's it from the walk around. So this is what we have to work with, you know. We'll start here and then we'll bring it back up. Slowly but surely, I'm sure. Another crack here. This side would be okay, except a lot of these got eaten away. So there's missing pieces right in here. The front bumper's hosed. In fact, it broke. Let's see. There's some parts in the trunk. Here's the passenger side. That fire extinguisher I brought with me, I had it in the car since I was driving it in like 95. So just as a precaution, because fiberglass, if it does catch fire, it goes up quick. And I think it's the resin that's actually pretty flammable. And because there's, you know, it's fiberglass, it's like sheets of think about it, when it's dry, it's like clothing. You know, clothing catches fire. There's not much left. Here's the trunk. Pretty spacious trunk. The thing Studebaker really liked about it, it's down under there is an access panel. So if you were in the back seat and you wanted to get something from the trunk, you could without even exiting the car. In fact, pop it. There, it popped. It's right there. Fan shroud, kind of mangled. One of the tie rods, a little bit bent, but enough to be replaced, and it already has been. Here's the front bumper. It's not even all of it. Bent, twisted, and in this end, broken, ripped off, clean. So that's the main portion. Here's one of the bumper sides. It's fine. Just needs to be mounted back on. Here's the other side bumper. Might need a little weld job, or we might even replace it. It's hard to say. Here's the bottom radiator mount. The lower crosses the bottom. It's a nice pinch and bend here. Maybe repairable, definitely replaceable. It just depends on other stuff. Here's the fan. Designed like that on purpose. 3 blades close together, then 2 blades. It's good for high speed and low speed cooling. Some of the bends at the very tip are not factory, but mostly it made it. So yeah, there's vinyl number 25, and I will be making updates as the progress continues. Thanks for watching.